The message is resonating with the American people. Look, I'm from the Midwest. My husband is as well. My mother-in-law has worked in the exact same factory since she was 16. So I understand.
Your mom worked at what kind of factory?
An automotive factory.
Wow.
Yeah, my mother-in-law. And so I understand the sentiment behind the song, because this idea of living in a new world with an old soul applies to so many parts of society. You know what? If you want to work hard and just pay your bills, raise your kids according to your values, well, too bad. The Biden administration is also going to force you to pay off the student loan debt of college graduates who decided that they didn't want to pay their own debt anymore. It's also going to force you to buy an electric vehicle. It's going to restrict your use of a gas stove. You want to send your kids to a good school? Well, too bad. They're going to get their heads filled with nonsense about sex and gender that no one believed until 2 seconds ago. You want to live according to your faith? You want to be a practicing Christian? Too bad. You're going to be forced to bake a cake. You're going to be restricted from fostering or adopting.
Let's be serious here for a minute. She's talking about she's from the Midwest. How she's signaling so hard to dog whistle that I'm a white woman caring about white people. That is unbelievable. It is not the Biden administration that did away with the way of life for the Midwest if she's basing it on automobile factories that her mother-in-law worked in her entire life. That is the nature of business. That is the nature of change. That is the nature of factories in America. They have been going away for years, for decades. Actually, car companies are moving further south now because they don't want to pay workers fair wages, and they can move in southern states where there are no unions.
As recently as the fall, middle schoolers made Fruit of the Loom socks in Alabama. In Michigan, children make auto parts used by Ford and General Motors.
So she's bigging up a way of life that would restrict people from having a livable income. Fox News is the place where Republicans go to get scared about life in general. And this interview was just that, a continuation of that. That's all this was. She's crying that Democrats are trying to change your way of life and make you care about things that people didn't care about 2 seconds ago. Tell me you're racist. Tell me you're bigoted without saying it. That's all this interview was. Sex and gender in education. They've been teaching about sex and gender in school. It's just you Republicans allow the silliness to get you riled up about it right now. You all are the ones that are freaking out and only thinking about sex and gender and race issues that y'all call woke, as if it's a bad thing to walk around the world woke and not sleep, to be aware.
Can you explain it to your mom? Think about that. And I remember when President Trump was running, and it was before he won in 2016, he used to get standing ovations initially when he would say, political correctness is ruining our country. And everybody that was clapping knew exactly what he meant. But it's sort of like the Supreme Court definition of pornography. You know it when you see it. So the Democrats want to get you in an argument where you're having to define wokeism as if the Webster's dictionary is defining it. And that's not what it is. It could be a feeling. It could be a sense. And I wonder if Republicans or conservatives are going to have to define it more.
You're complaining about EV vehicles when they save gas money, not even just the environment. They save the owner repairs, monies. It is not a bad thing to move forward. You're the same person that would have been complaining in times of old about a car when you were used to riding a horse. This is the dumbness we hear when you all make these arguments on the right, on Fox News. Come on, guys, let's get serious. Furthermore, are we really still stuck on student loans? If our government would have required us to pay off the student loans as according to Biden's plan, it would have cost this country $305 billion over 10 years. And Republicans seem to think that is ridiculous. We can't do that. Except Republicans won't tell you that they're okay with the tax breaks that businesses get. If you look at 55 largest companies in this country, some of them paid zero on their tax bill. And what would if they would have paid the 21% that was required by the government in 2020, that would have been $12.5 billion. If you consider the $3.5 billion they got back as tax rebates. Now, if you extrapolate that $12.5 billion over the life of those businesses, we're giving these people well more than we're giving people struggling to pay bills. And the Republicans seem to be comfortable with that. And we know they are because they brag about Trump tax cut, which only benefit the top 1%, the wealthiest of Americans. Stop pretending that you are a working class party. Stop pretending that your party policies benefit anybody. Stop pretending that you have a platform that's based on Christian values. Stop pretending, Republicans, that you give a damn about anything other than being racist, whether you're doing it covertly or overtly. Either way, it's a form of violence. When you support the Proud Boys and Donald Trump, it's violent. When you're passive aggressive, you're violent. Work on yourselves and nobody else. I'm Mondale Robinson. Peace.